This is political map of the Balkans in 1912. Serb enemies often call for Serbia to be reduced to 1912 borders. Okay, then everyone should go back to 1912 borders. This would cause World War III, World War IV, World War V. People don't realize how different the world looked in 1912. Why is 1912 so important for Serbian enemies? Serbia had huge territory gains between 1912 and 1918. I will focus on the 1912 Balkan borders. Who is independent in 1912? Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Greece. The rest of the Balkans belong to Habsburg Empire and Ottoman Empire. Habsburg Empire was also called Austria-Hungary. The 1912 independent Balkan countries were much smaller than they are today. The borders you see in 1912 were established in 1878. The 1878 Berlin Congress reshaped the Balkans. In 1912, another reshaping of the Balkans began. It would include First Balkan War, 1912-1913, Second Balkan War, 1913, and World War I, 1914-1918. But we are in 1912, so let's start from the west. There is no Slovenia on the map. Territory of present-day Slovenia belonged to Habsburg Empire. Instead of Slovenia, there are Styria, Carinthia, Carniola, and Kustenland. Quick history: in 1335, Duke of Carinthia died without heir. Most of the territory of present-day Slovenia became a hereditary land of the Habsburg monarchy. Today, territory of Duchy of Carinthia belongs to Austria, Slovenia, and Italy. Carniola is now called Kranjska and belongs to Slovenia. Styria belongs to modern-day Austria and Slovenia. Kustenland was also called Austrian Littoral. Kustenland is today divided between Slovenia, Croatia, and Italy. This means that Austrian Littoral does not belong to Austria today. Town Trieste used to belong to Kustenland. There is bitter dispute over Trieste between Italy and Croatia. If you want to start bar fight between Italians and Croats, just ask them to whom Trieste belongs. They cannot agree upon the name. Croats and other former Yugoslavians call the town Trst. If we want to respect 1912 borders, this would cause war between Slovenia, Croatia, Austria, and Italy. The question is not whether there would be a war, only how big it would be. In the past, Yugoslavia and Italy almost went to war against one another over Trieste. As you can see on the map, Croatia-Slavonia is separate from Dalmatia. Today, Dalmatia belongs to Croatia. First, I have to explain that Roman province Dalmatia is very different from Croatian region Dalmatia. Roman Dalmatia was much bigger and included parts of modern-day Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia, Montenegro, and Albania. In 1102, Croatia formed personal union with Hungary. Hungarian king took the title of King of Croatia and Dalmatia. In 1527, Croatia and Dalmatia passed to Habsburg dynasty. In 1699, Kingdom of Slavonia was formed and it existed until 1868. In 1868, Kingdom of Croatia-Slavonia was formed within the borders of Habsburg Empire. The Kingdom of Dalmatia was formed in 1815 and it existed until 1918. Habsburg Emperor was at the same time King of Croatia-Slavonia and King of Dalmatia. Today, Croatia has 4 historic regions: Croatia proper, Slavonia, Dalmatia, and Istria. In 1912, Istria belonged to Kustenland, or Austrian Littoral. In 1912, Bay of Kotor was part of Kingdom of Dalmatia. Today, Kotor belongs to Montenegro. If we want to respect 1912 borders, this would mean the war between Croatia, Slovenia, Austria, Hungary, Italy, and Montenegro. In 1912, Bosnia and Herzegovina is part of Habsburg Empire. In this video, I will shorten the name to Bosnia. Whenever I say Bosnia, I'm meaning Bosnia and Herzegovina. The 1878 Berlin Congress allowed Habsburg Empire to take Bosnia from Ottoman Empire. But legally speaking, Bosnia was still under Ottoman Empire. In 1908, Habsburg Empire officially annexed Bosnia. In 1908, Condominium of Bosnia was established. In this case, the word condominium doesn't mean building. Condominium means joint control of states' affairs by other states. Bosnia was under joint control of Austria and Hungary. The condominium existed until 1918. Are 1912 and 2023 Bosnian borders the same? No, parts of Bosnia were given to Montenegro in 1947 by Yugoslav authorities. If we want to respect the 1912 borders, this would mean war between Bosnia, Austria, Hungary and Montenegro. If we return to 1912, then Montenegro would have to move their capital from Podgorica to Cetinje. Cetinje was the capital of Montenegro. Podgorica became the capital only after World War II. In 1912, Montenegro was surrounded by Habsburg Empire and Ottoman Empire. So it is logical that Montenegro expanded its borders by taking parts of both empires. The 1878 Berlin Congress granted full independence to Montenegro. Montenegro was principality until 1910. In 1910, Montenegro became kingdom. The actual name of the country is Crna Gora, English Black Mountain. But they use international name Montenegro, Italian Black Mountain. Montenegro consists of rocky mountains and seaside. Montenegro had territory disputes with all their neighbors. Going back to 1912 would mean the war between Montenegro, Bosnia, Croatia, Serbia, and Albania. During medieval times, Romanian territory was conquered by Ottoman Empire. In 1859, modern Romania was formed. This was done through a personal union of the Nubian principalities of Moldavia and Wallachia. In 1877, Romania gained full independence from Ottoman Empire. Romanian borders significantly changed in the years after 1912. As a result of the dissolution of Habsburg Empire, Romania gained significant territories like Transylvania. In 1940, Romania was forced to give part of territories to the Soviet Union. Now, region Bessarabia is divided between Moldova, Romania and Ukraine. Bukovina is divided between Romania and Ukraine. After World War I, region Banat was divided between Romania, Serbia and Hungary. Romania and Bulgaria had long dispute over region Dobruja. In 1912, Romania shared border with Russian Empire. If we want to go back to 1912 borders, this would mean war between Romania, Hungary, Moldova, Ukraine, Russia, Bulgaria and Serbia. Bulgaria had a long road to full independence. In 1878, Principality of Bulgaria became semi-independent part of Ottoman Empire. Eastern Rumelia was a separate region but joined Bulgaria in 1885. This was the reason why Serbia attacked Bulgaria in 1885. Serbs lost this war. Bulgaria proclaimed independence in 1908. Bulgarian prince took the title of Tsar. Bulgaria joined Balkan League against the Ottomans. Bulgaria was unhappy with the result of First Balkan War. Bulgarians started Second Balkan War by attacking their former allies. Going back to 1912 borders is not an option for Bulgarians. Greece was the first Balkan country to get full independence from Ottoman Empire in 1832. But many Greeks remained living under foreign rule. Greece had territory expansions in 1863 and 1881. In 1863, British gave the Ionian Islands to Greece. In 1881, Ottoman Empire gave Thessaly to Greece. Still, there were Greeks living under Ottoman rule. This was the main reason why Greece participated in First Balkan War, 1912-1913. The problem with the Balkans in general is that several nations claim the same land. This makes going back to 1912 borders even more complicated. Now we come to the biggest problem we can imagine: Ottoman Balkans. There are no Albania and North Macedonia on the map. Vilayet of Kosovo is not the same as Serbian province Kosovo. This has potential of world war. I have to start explaining from the beginning. Ottoman Empire often changed borders of the regions they controlled. I have suspicion that they wanted to ruin the lives of future historians. Vilayet was the administrative region of Ottoman Empire. The word Vilayet comes from Arabic word Vilaya and means province or region. Vilayets were subdivided into districts called sanjaks. The Turkish word sanjak means district, banner or flag. Every sanjak was named after an important town within its borders. Ottoman Empire was really chaotic when they formed vilayets. Vilayet borders have no sense. There is no logical explanation why certain town belongs to certain vilayet. Vilayet borders are not ethnic, not historical, and not political. Ottomans liked to experiment with creating and abolishing vilayets and sanjaks. Example: Danube Vilayet was completely artificial. This vilayet was created from former Niš Eyalet, Vidin Eyalet, and Silistra Eyalet. Eyalets were administrative regions before vilayets were introduced. Random Bulgarian town Russe was the capital of Danube Vilayet. Today, territory of Danube Vilayet belongs to Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, and Ukraine. Let's see what happened to the vilayets on the map. Vilayet of Iskodra or Skutari was divided between Albania and Montenegro. Vilayet of Yanina belongs to Albania and Greece today. Vilayet of Monastir was divided between Albania, North Macedonia, and Greece. Territory of Vilayet of Thessalonica belongs to Greece, Bulgaria, and North Macedonia today. Vilayet of Edirne belongs to Greece, Bulgaria, and Turkey. Going back to 1912 borders, the only question is if this would be another Balkan War or World War. Now we come to the crown jewel of potential future conflicts, Vilayet of Kosovo. Albanians claim they were majority in Vilayet of Kosovo. But Ottoman Empire didn't care about ethnicity. Their population censuses were based on religion. We can tell how many Muslims and Orthodox Christians lived in Vilayet of Kosovo. But we cannot tell their ethnicity. Albanians claim that all Muslims living in Vilayet of Kosovo were in fact Albanians. They are trying to simulate Bosnian Muslims, Turks, Muslim Roma Romani, and other Muslim communities who lived in the Vilayet of Kosovo. How come Bosnian Muslims lived in Vilayet of Kosovo? As you can see on the map, Serbia and Montenegro didn't share border in 1912. The yellow region between Serbia and Montenegro is Sanjak of Novi Pazar. Until 1865, Sanjak of Novi Pazar belonged to Bosnia. On Berlin Congress in 1878, it was decided that Habsburg garrisons would be stationed in Sanjak of Novi Pazar. Only in 1909, Sanjak of Novi Pazar was fully reintegrated into Ottoman Empire. In 1913, Sanjak of Novi Pazar was divided between Serbia and Montenegro. Now Bosnian Muslims call this region Sanjak. Serbs call the region Raška after a medieval Serbian state that was in the same region. Remains of medieval Serbian capital Ras are near modern-day town Novi Pazar. There are calls for independent Sanjak. The war would include Serbia and Montenegro, probably on the same side. It would also drag Bosnia and Albanians in the war. There was idea that Serbia should give Raška Sanjak to Bosnia in exchange of Republika Srpska. Republika Srpska is part of Bosnia with Serb ethnic majority. In case of such exchange, Serbia would gain more land and people than it would lose. Serb enemies want Serbia to give Raška Sanjak and get nothing in return. They used the 1912 map as proof of their claims. The history of Vilayet of Kosovo is very complicated. In 1868 or 1871, the year is not clear, Ottomans united several Sanjaks and created Vilayet of Prizren. Prizren is a town in province Kosovo. In 1877, Vilayet of Prizren changed its name to Vilayet of Kosovo. The capital of Vilayet of Kosovo was Pristina until 1888. In 1888, Skopje became the capital of Vilayet of Kosovo. Today, Skopje is the capital of North Macedonia. Somehow, I doubt that Macedonians would give Skopje without a fight. In 1913, Vilayet of Kosovo was divided between Serbia, Montenegro, Albania and Bulgaria. What are Bulgarians doing in the mix? Bulgarians claimed Orthodox Christians living in Vilayet of Kosovo were actually Bulgarians. Can I claim that all Orthodox Christians living in Vilayet of Kosovo were Serbs? No. Some were Macedonians, Bulgarians, Greeks. Serb enemies claim that Serbs forced Orthodox Christians to declare as Serbs. How can they prove that someone was forced to declare as Serb over 100 years ago? If the person was forced, then why their descendants continue declaring as Serbs? When Serbs took province Kosovo in 1913, Serbs saw this as liberation. Albanians saw this as occupation. The same feelings remain until today. Things in 1999 only reversed. Albanians see this as liberation and Serbs see it as occupation. Recreating Vilayet of Kosovo would drag Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia, Albania, North Macedonia and Bulgaria into war. How did modern Serbian borders change? In 1459, medieval Serbian capital Smederevo was conquered by Ottoman Empire. Ottomans established Sanjak of Smederevo. In 1521, Ottomans took Belgrade from Hungarians. Belgrade replaced Smederevo as the capital of Sanjak of Smederevo. Sanjak of Smederevo was nicknamed Pašalik of Belgrade. In 21st century, Serb enemies like to gloat how Serbia will be reduced to Pašalik of Belgrade. But 1912 Serbia is not Pašalik of Belgrade. In 1817, Sanjak of Smederevo got semi-independence from Ottoman Empire. In 1817, Sanjak of Smederevo was renamed Principality of Serbia. Principality of Serbia had territory expansions in 1833 and 1878. The 1833 expansions were minor and result of negotiations with Ottoman Empire. The 1878 expansions were result of Serbian-Ottoman wars, 1876-1878. Between 1878 and 1912, Serbia did not change borders. The territory north of Belgrade is called Vojvodina. In 1912, Vojvodina was part of Habsburg Empire. In 1918, Vojvodina became part of Serbia. The 1974 Yugoslav Constitution gave Vojvodina and Kosovo status of autonomous provinces. Those who are most vocal about Vojvodina independence are in fact those who would benefit from it. Some Croats believe that Vojvodina should belong to Croatia. They claim that Zemun was Croat town. Today, Zemun is Belgrade neighborhood due to the expansion of Belgrade. Kosovo Albanians want to see independent Vojvodina because this would give legitimacy to their legal mess. Bosnian Muslims want independent Vojvodina so that they could establish independent Sanjak. They all claim how people of Vojvodina are oppressed by Serbia. They fail to mention the fact that 66% of Vojvodina population are ethnic Serbs. This would mean that Serbia is oppressing Serbs. Whenever the topic of independent Vojvodina is mentioned, someone shows this 1912 map. They claim this is the proof that Vojvodina doesn't belong to Serbia. In their imperialistic dreams, they allow Serbia to keep the 1912 borders. They don't notice the irony that their own countries were not independent in 1912. I could claim that they don't have the right to be independent because they weren't independent in 1912. How do I feel when I see the 1912 map of Serbia? This is a historical map showing how things were in 1912. I don't feel anger or shame. There were periods when Serbia was completely erased from the map. That's how history works. Some countries appear, others disappear. I am proud that Serbs managed to keep ethnic identity while living under foreign rule. Belgrade was razed to the ground 44 times during history and always rebuilt. If we want war with maps, I could use the 1355 map of the Balkans. The pink area is Serbian Empire. Emperor Dusan controlled huge parts of present-day Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia, Croatia, Albania, North Macedonia, Greece and Bulgaria. There are far-right Serbs who want to re-establish Dusan's empire. Dusan's empire is even bigger than hypothetical Great Serbia the world is so afraid of. At the end of the day, this is still just a historical map of how things were in 1355. If something existed in the past, that doesn't mean it will exist in the future. I can hope that Serbia will still exist in 25th century. And I find it funny how Serb enemies are convinced their countries will exist and thrive while Serbia will disappear in the smoke.